Welcome everybody to the VRML Blaston Season 1, Week 1. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I'm joined by my co-caster and some stylistic mood lighting, Captain Fabulous. How are you doing today, Cap?
I'm doing really well today. I've been looking forward to this match all week, and I'm really glad we get a chance to cast it.
Yeah, it should be a exciting one. All week, it's only been 2 days, right? So it's Tuesday, I think.
I suppose it's actually been about 24 hours, but
okay.
This is one of my top picks for the week in terms of matches. We've got two titans of EU playing against each other. We've got Turb0, one of the oldest players in the EU, who's probably put the most amount of hours out of anyone I know into the game. And we've got Monty, who's quite a new EU player, but is really challenging the top dogs in the queue.
We've gone ahead and given both teams the go-ahead, or both players the go-ahead to start this matchup. Should be an exciting one to dive into here as we get ready for this warm-up round to die down. Is there anything you're seeing in their loadouts that surprises you at all here, Cap? I see the Raptor, Luma, Aegis, Shield, Hammer, Eclipse, Raptor, Ellipse, Hammer Nade coming in for Monty. Is that pretty standard there? The Luma, the new bow and arrow, right?
The Luma's a new bow and arrow. It isn't so standard for Monty, but it's not too much of a surprise. I have heard him talking about how he thinks it's strong. But really, this is a quintessential Turb0 build from Turb0's side, with a Cortex shield, I believe, to try and counter MontyBann's bullet hell. MontyBann is very, very good at bullet hell combos. So apart from the Luma, this is pretty much identical to what I would expect from him in Q.
Okay.
And I think we're in the game, ready to start. Let's go.
This is it. We're diving in to the action, first round of the afternoon. The nade doesn't detonate, goes a bit too far, and a great bit of dodging coming in from MontyBann as they evade that spread. And yeah, this is going to be a nice high-tier battle, like you said, Cap. These are two experienced players duking it out. This is going to be more akin to, I think, the matches we saw in the tournament before season start, as Monty and Turb0 do duke it out. I know it was also a highly anticipated match, highly voted on online, and oh, what a great bit of dodging there to avoid the Raptor Ellipse shots coming in and dodging the Hammer Ellipse setup there coming in from Turb0. Really nice job from Monty. And now they're going to try their hand at their assault. They have all their utility up. Here comes the barrage. The Aegis shield gets pulled up. The Cortex, excuse me, gets pulled up from Turb0. The Luma shots do not connect, and a small bit of trading here, Cap. A little bit of damage exchanged back and forth as we get into the back half of this round.
This is high-level Blaston. High-level Blaston, when you're playing bullet hell versus bullet hell, it's a battle of inches.
Yeah.
And both players really showing that they're very adept at dodging. And I really like Turb0's inclusion for the Cortex shield here, because it's covering a much wider area to shield for longer. So that when he gets this big swarm of bullets that Monty is so adept at putting out, he's got a good recovery from it. You can notice that, for example, when Monty starts his push, Turb0 walks to the front of his podium. That's because he's trying to bait the nade to the front so he can then dodge at the back. Lovely VRML there. That was beautiful from Turb0.
And you can see the setup coming there the whole time, right, Cap? The Cortex shield coming in to force the dodge from Monty down into the corner, and then the ellipse as the shield was coming in. And now Turb0 getting hammered by a good set coming in from Monty. A nice bounce back coming out here as Turb0 has to land another Viper ellipse, and there's a big shot that connects onto Turb0 in the last 5 seconds of the round. Monty takes round 1, but we are off to the races here in this series, Cap.
Yeah. One thing I would say about Turb0 is that he's one of those players which I feel that after a few rounds with him, he just starts to read you. Like, as you say there, he threw out the Cortex shield knowing that Monty was going to dodge into the Viper ellipse. I dodged against him knowing what he was going to do and him knowing exactly what I was going to do, and then just ended up like losing because of it. He's very good at reading players and forcing them to play by his set of rules.
That Luma, a nice hitter there when it connects. Good bit of damage being done to Turb0 from that shot. And oh my goodness, Monty does not get that dodge like they were hoping. And a big bit of that bullet hell barrage connects. Here comes the setup from Monty, though. And that's going to be another bit of connecting coming in from that Luma alongside a few other shots. And Turb0 ends up being on lower health as we get into this first 1 minute of this round, getting into the back half of round number 2 here as they exchange a barrage and another good bit of dodging. You can see that movement from Monty as they come to the forward of the arena and then back. You can also see that platform from Monty. I love to see the VRML platform in effect here as another bit of Luma shots connect.
Yeah, no, the Luma's doing a lot of work.
Goodness.
And one of the ways it's doing more work than you might think is that if you are dodging a Luma in bullet hell, you're eating bullet hell shots. So even if it doesn't hit you, the fact that you're moving out the way and into other pellets, that's doing damage to you. But Turbo's taken a lead here. It looks like he could probably close this out. It could still go either way. It's a very close match, even though one of them flashing red and the other isn't. He just has to hold on for the next 25 seconds. But knowing Turbo, he's probably going to go for that way. Oh, wow. Lovely hammer nade. Just a short toss. It's easier to do with the third attachment now, but it's no less impressive.
We gotta send out the tweets on Twitter now that we are into a high-tier Blaston match. If you're not following the social medias, please get in on those social medias now. Also, follow the channel if you haven't already, and a big connect coming in there from Turbo.
Yeah, Monty just getting caught in that bullet hell. You can be the most experienced person in the world, but sometimes you're going to eat a wall of bullets when you judge it wrong. We all do it still. Turbo's got a slight lead in this match. But no, just on this note, I think this is probably going to be the best match that we've casted so far in VRML. This is a close match, and both players have a lot to prove.
Yeah, very excited to get in here. It's the start of the season, right? It's your time to establish yourself high in the MMR rating. You don't want to get a loss on your record. And I gotta wonder, you have to go and look, Cap, maybe you can dig it up in the archives, what their scores have been over the last week. I wonder how they've done, if they are undefeated right now. Monty getting peppered up by another good barrage. And Turbo seems to at least be connecting successfully there.
They are undefeated. I think they are almost definitely both 2-0, because I got matched up with Monty, and I think I can only get matched up with undefeated people at this point. His next match is me, and I'm terrified.
Maybe a little bit of a...
Hopefully this might destroy confidence.
Yeah, do your research now. Take your notes as Monty is doing a good bit of assault with this Luma. Doesn't connect there as they didn't have the setup that they traditionally have had from their bullet hell, but the time is ticking down. So they're trying to get rid of these shots. They know their health is getting chipped away, but a big connect coming in there as both Turbo and Monty exchange in bullet hell here. It's tied 1-1 in this first round of the best of 5, and Monty and Turbo are tied in health as we get down to the 15 seconds. It doesn't come any closer than this. There's a good nade that gets completely dodged by Monty. A great bit of movement there. A good side-by-side assault there. Does tag Monty a bit, and it's just enough to set Turbo ahead. No, the Luma connects. Who wins? It's Monty.
Oh yeah, that was. You know, if you measure those health bars, I don't know, like.
I mean, send him,
it could be
1 or
HP.
2. Yeah, right. I was gonna say 1 or 2 HP is what it looked like there, and we're not getting any change in loadouts, so we're going right into our next round. That's 1 set in the books for Monty, but it is a best of 5, so there still is plenty to go, and this is a good start for Turbo with that Viper Ellipse connecting.
Just for those who are new to Blaston, it could also have been a 0 HP difference because there are no draws in Blaston.
Interesting.
A little bit of Blaston trivia for you there.
Wow.
Turbo starting this one out like he's got something he wants to prove after last match. Opening with a solid VRML shot, putting on more pressure. 30 seconds in, Monty hasn't touched him, and Monty's down to about 60% HP. The Turbo often tells me that he never tries 100% in queue, and if you take a round of him or a game, he does seem to come back. He's one of these players which seems to thrive under pressure, and that's what we might be seeing this game here.
An absolute great back and forth to kick off this week number 2 of the season. This is an unbelievable battle and exchange as, again, the Luma connects for big damage to get Turbo down just a little bit more. Monty's trying to chip away in the back half of round number 1 here in this second set. And we'll have to see how this exchange goes. There's a good bit of fire coming in, and a couple of those shots connect. The Luma gets completely dodged, though, and that's really important for Turbo. Keeps them, I think, in the lead, but who knows? It's very close again, Cap.
Yeah, I wouldn't want. Monty's Turbo's definitely in the lead now, but that Luma shot is so hard to dodge, so fast. I think it's the fastest projectile outside of Vandal in Blaston, so fastest projectile which does damage. Turbo's opting really to use the shield and managed to squeak out the win there, so that's a very nice retort to MontyBann's first game win. And round-wise, they're both equal. Fortunately, doesn't work. Blaston doesn't work like that.
Quite an exciting exchange there, though, to kick off this second set. And now back into it we go as Turbo and Monty exchange and blows. And Monty takes another bit of damage in that assault. The full bullet hell load coming in there from Turbo. And here's again the ellipse shots, the nade, everything coming in. The nade doesn't detonate, actually, and Monty ends up getting caught by some of that hammer ellipse shots. The spread doesn't connect there, and now it's Monty's turn as their weapons start spawning in. The Luma's there and available. Here comes the full swing, the full ellipse set. The Luma doesn't connect. Monty doesn't get down enough HP onto Turbo, and now everyone waits for their weapons to reset for another assault.
Yeah, what you see here is both players deciding to do their bullet hell at the same time. Some players will take it in turns, and really it's just about how confident you are. Can you, because a bullet hell combo is quite hard to set up, it requires quite a lot of precision, while also at the same time, if you're setting that up while someone else is setting it up, you've also got to be dodging their bullet hell. So it's how well can you multitask, and Monty seems to be getting the better end of the stick in this regard in this round.
That was a wild dodge sequence there from Monty. Again, take notes if you're new. How these people are moving and dodging. You know, they are maneuvering around their entire play space, utilizing every inch of it to get away from every bit of bullet here as the Viper Ellipse doesn't connect. The final shot there goes wide. 30 seconds left here.
Anyone new watching, though, I'd like to let you know Monty was, it's not too long ago, Monty was the new face on the block, and he's put in the work and he's really shown that. I think he's probably most improved player of maybe 2022, or maybe that's 24.
A big Luma connecting there in the last 10 seconds as the action picks up here. Turbo gets chipped away. One final assault coming in from Turbo. It connects big. The Viper Ellipse hits when it needs to, and Monty gets chipped away in 2. Round goes to Turbo. A set, excuse me, what is it? Round match? Game. Round match sets? Something like that?
Round game match. I think that's what we settled on in the end. But this is something that we basically came up with about a month ago that we need to decide.
Yeah, we have to. Go ahead.
So that game shows that when you have a Viper Ellipse, you know, you're never really truly out. Monty didn't look like he was out, but he looked like he was losing that round. It looked like he needed something miraculous to come back. But one Viper E, 30 damage. That's 30% of your opponent's HP, and it just gets you back in there. It's a catch-up mechanic. So, well played by Turbo. And And it's also quite nice to see Turbo landing that on Monty, because Monty, I know personally, has been trying to learn the VRML. So how nice of Turbo to give him a little lesson.
Now, what in your opinion is a good way for Turbo to approach this Luma? Because it really has been hitting them hard in a lot of these rounds. It's been what's getting Monty, in a lot of cases, very close to winning some of these rounds.
I think that when someone picks up a Luma, firstly, you've got to be moving erratically. But it's so fast, I would suggest trying counter pressure, just picking up that Raptor, so not Raptor, Wildcat, and just shooting some Wildcat bullets at him. Force him to be dodging while he's pulling back that bow. Okay. He can't be. It's not something you can like immediately start blocking with. Normally, when someone's got a Wildcat and they're shooting at you, you're shooting them with another gun while blocking with another, or like an empty handle. But you know, Luma's a good weapon. Luma with no attachments, a lot of speed, a lot of power, and kind of forces your opponent to react. So counter pressure is probably the way I'd go. You don't want to shield it, because they shoot one, you shield, and then they just stop and wait for the shield to go down. So potentially Novas to try and block up the area.
Can you? Yeah, and I guess.
And I do know that.
I was thinking maybe a Vandal, but that's it's too quick of a shot, right? To be able to disrupt.
No, you're not going to Vandal Luma shots.
Right.
It's just too fast. I mean, Vandaling Viper shots is considered fairly impressive, and Luma shots are a lot faster than Viper shots.
Really, you think so? I almost feel like the Viper is a little quicker. I guess I wonder what the math is. I'm sure it hasn't been calculated, has it?
So, I have this somewhere, but someone leaked all of the actual in-game stats. It's quite hard because Luma's. It's about how hard you pull it back. I believe it's got a speed of 4 at max. But what you might be confusing is that if you've seen other Lumas, you've probably seen other attachments. The fastest Luma is no attachment Luma, whereas, for example, Curve, Bounce, or Multi-Shot Luma all have slower travel speeds. Which is why I've said that either Curve or no attachment Luma is probably the strongest.
Okay.
Definitely would say it's faster than Viper though. I mean, Viper Ellipse can accelerate, so potentially Viper Ellipse could be the fastest thing in the game at the end of its curve. But from player to player, I think Luma takes that, and is below Vandal, but Vandal does no damage. So yeah.
Well, we're getting a little moment here to take a look at the loadouts, Cap. And I'm wondering what you are seeing here that intrigues you, if anything. I'm noticing a change from Monty, at the very least. We're not seeing
I'm noticing a change from Turbo. He brought a Nova. Like I said, might be a good option against that Luma, but Monty didn't bring the Luma.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, that Nova, that's a health Nova, I believe. Sure, that's a health Nova. I'm still learning what the attachments look like.
Yeah, I would imagine a plus sign typically goes towards health. So,
and that's going to be really hard for MontyBann to deal with. He doesn't have a hammer, so he's going to have to throw a shield and then follow up with Raptor shots or Raptor Ellipse shots, or just dodge it.
We're into the action though here for our match number 2, as round 1 kicks off, and already Turbo takes a little bit of damage, but here comes the setup. The health Nova's slowly rolling in, ominously pushing forward. There's a little shield to disrupt, like you said. They get just around that health Nova and manage to dodge some of the bullets. They do take a good bit of damage though, and Monty gets chipped away quite heavily as that health Nova wall gets completely disrupted. There's a good shield toss. That's what they need to really disrupt that Nova setup, but Turbo's doing good to chip away at Monty now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing to remember about this, the Nova, is that a normal shield toss, assuming it is health Nova, I just want to make sure that that's right, is that it's not just the shield will do it.
Okay.
But right there, you could see in the bullet hell combo, Turbo was using those Novas as a shield, a reactive shield. He was putting it in front of him, hiding behind it to stop the damage coming in. And that's why that little pellet damage contributed enough to be able to wipe it away. Monty here trying to get around those Novas with the use of a Raptor Ellipse by curving those shots so you can get under, over, side to side, and get to the person behind the Nova. I like Turbo's loadout more here. I think that Turbo's going to have the edge off the back of this.
We'll have to see as we do get into the final 20 seconds. Turbo still leading in HP, but Monty now has one final attempt essentially to chip away. They have to dodge one more assault. They can't afford any damage here. As there it is, almost no. Monty doesn't get out. They still have a lifeline left. It's all a matter of guns, though. Really, 1 HP, 2 HP away. Turbo's not gonna threat over it. They know the time's gonna tick away, and Monty loses round 1 in game 3 here. Again, a best of 5, so we're at least 2 more games assured here. And depending how Monty manages round 2, I foresee that we may be in for another loadout swap. So we'll have to see how Monty does here, how they manage to go against this Nova, as we do see there the Raptor Ellipse working its way around that Nova to able to get past that wall that Turbo feels comfortable behind. That's really not necessarily there for some of these bullets. And now Monty has a bit of a lead as we get into the first half, first 30 seconds here.
I do take a few issues with various parts of Monty's build. I'm surprised he's not bringing a wildcat with attachment 1.
Ooh, wow. A big assault there really chips away at Turbo. I mean, there's the full potential of the loadout, right? The shield, everything getting utilized to push out the assault, and now they have nothing to defend, but they managed to do some good dodging.
Yes. Monty's really gone for his double shield build in the hope of playing a fair bullet hell versus bullet hell loadout, which in the absence of the Novas, Turbo's actually kind of given to him. But the Novas, I think, are really making a difference, because now Monty has to decide, are you going to use those shields to deal with the bullet hell combo, that hammer ellipse, hammer nade, wildcat follow-up? Or are you going to be using them to deal with the Novas? And both are really strong threats. And making Monty make that choice is what's working for Turbo. I'm aware that Monty is up on health this game.
When there's
this round, but he's very good at dodging.
Yeah, I think that's what's really keeping Monty alive here. Is there good dodging? Turbo does get chipped away here, and we have seen, you know, I wouldn't say a few mismatched setups there from both teams, both players, as they do try to get everything to work together. It's pretty hard. A great denial from that nade. What a great shutdown there to completely shield that entire hammer nade, and Turbo just almost surrenders to that round. We're tied here in game 3.
You could see that last hammer nade that Turbo threw out, he was trying to get the win there. He was trying to explode it onto the back of Monty's head, catch him off guard, take the win, and end the round. Unfortunately, that probably cost him the round by not going for a... well, it cost him a chance of winning the round. Monty was still up.
Very good denial there of a nade again. Here comes the setup from Turbo. And again, just good dodging from Monty, you know, on the floor, getting down, good crouching movement. I mean, they were going to be sweaty after this game, but, you know, it's worth it. They're trying to earn a hard W here against a very good opponent, as Turbo has put up some great rounds against them, and a great assault from Monty there connects and really does some good damage. The setup from Turbo there doesn't find success, and you can see almost a bit of disappointment at Turbo in their gestures as they kind of take a bit of a pause and get ready for the next assault from Monty.
Yeah, Monty seems to have worked that out still with Turbo's loadout. I could have been wrong on this. I think Monty's worked out the key to victory here, and I think that, you know, Turbo getting off his Viper Ellipse might have hurt him a little bit more than I had initially anticipated. Either way, I do expect a loadout change from either of these players, regardless of who wins. I reckon that Monty probably will want to get a hammer in his loadout if he's dealing with Novas. Even if he's winning now, it's a hard matchup still.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We're getting into the back 30 seconds here. Monty has the lead, but we've seen leads get changed in a matter of seconds in these final moments, and so we'll have to see if Turbo can finally get something going. But Monty is just so light on their feet this afternoon. They are very clearly stretched, limber, and loose. Maybe they've done some hot yoga or something to get prepped for the game, because they are crouching, flying, bouncing around, and Turbo continues to get tagged and, you know, almost again accepting their fate here as, you know, they dip their head out and Round 2 goes to Monty. Not happy with the loadout, but Monty's certainly happy with the W. And like you said, Cap, we are going into another loadout swap. I mean, what's the change? We go back to the Viper for Turbo?
Definitely see Turbo going back to the Viper. I'm a bit surprised. I mean, I think I might have just got this wrong, to be honest. At the start of that game, I thought Turbo had the advantage. And it seemed like he did match 1, but then the trouble with the Bullet Hell Nova setup combos is if they're not hitting people, it's not like you've got a Viper where you can kind of follow up and do proactive, really fast damage.
Yeah,
it feels very almost hopeless as a player because you're just watching your opponent deal with your projectiles, your pellets. And there's not much that you can do. And I know that Turbo likes to try and change or control the pace of the game, whereas this matchup seemed to be a lot more, both players had an opportunity to do what they want and deal with their other opponents' loadout as best they can, without having, essentially the commanding presence of a Viper in his loadout.
Right.
Turbo didn't have his traditional style.
Yeah, not enough heavy hitting action there. You saw Nova's work yesterday in one of the matchups we cast. They hit for big damage. I understand wanting to use that as an element of part of your arsenal that's going to be key in doing damage, but it just wasn't there. As again, you have a good dodger like Monty on your hands, and they're able to avoid almost everything that was thrown at them there. We are getting ready now for our next lobby, though, and again, I'm curious what the loadout changes are going to be. A quick
here, I'm going to predict a Lance on Turbos.
Okay. Quick shout out to everyone that is tuning in. We do appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out in the Twitch chat. I see some new chatters, some first-time chatters. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of first-time chatters as we start to populate this space. Kronstar, Irish Redneck, Faint Beep, Ivan Thrive. Appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out and chatting in chat. If you are new here, hit that follow button. Tell your friends that Blaston VRML is kicking off, and we're going to be trying to do more casts like this. We'll get more people into the casting seat as well, as we have plenty of applications from the community. You might see some familiar faces from other VRML leagues come in and join the casting team. We're really going to be expanding here on this channel and the content of the VRML Blaston League, so do keep the eyes peeled. I would recommend hitting that follow button if you haven't already. And again, appreciate you all stopping by. Also, go retweet and tweet everything out on social media. Tell your friends in Discord, all of that. Cap, you're getting already. We talked about it. I told you in like the start in one of our early meetings. Are you going to be dressing up for every cast? And already you're getting called out for it. Captain's not in a suit.
Hey. Yeah, 100%. I forgot I was on camera. Okay, so this is it's hot. Okay, I've got my suit jacket. I just have to put it on. That's cool.
All right. Well, how about this? I can. Hold on. We got the technology. Let's do. Oh.
You know what? I'm gonna give the fans what they want.
Yeah, get your jacket on. You're good. You're off camera. You can get adjusted comfortably. We want to deliver what the fans want to see, and you can see we're waiting here to hop into the lobby. And don't worry, I'm not getting a special show either. He's off camera. It's all kosher, believe me. But they are getting dressed up just for you, Kron. Yeah.
I knew it would be Kron. I could tell it was going to be Kron. Shout out to Kronstar, one of the Fab Org members. Big fan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also one of the 2 people to recently beat Josie in 1 round in a live event. So in the Invitational.
Yeah.
Still very impressed by that match. That was awesome. Okay, we're into the match. I think it's probably a lag loadout round. Yeah. But I'm all dressed up now, so you can show me on camera again.
You have time to do your tie and get things sorted, and then we can we'll get you. We got to get you on cam with the proper dress. There they are. Captain Fabulous is getting all sorted out for you, Crying. You believe that? Look at that. The full Monty, if you will.
The full Monty's something else. I think you're.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it right here because we are getting into the action as we begin round number 1. And tell me about the loadouts here. What are you seeing? We do see the Viper Ellipse, but also the Majestic Nade coming in.
Yeah, I was right about the Viper. I was wrong about the Lance. I was hoping he might get a bit spicy. It's what I like to bring. So the Majestic Nade is something that Turbo's been using quite a lot in queue. And essentially, it's his way of trying to block up podium space. He's opted not to bring the Hammer Ellipse. That's surprising. So he's essentially going to put down the Majestic Nade, go out the Hammer Nade, and then just pressure with the Viper Ellipse Snowball. He's going for a completely different style of play, which is more precision than bullet health. Which is going to be hard against Monty, because Monty's very good at dodging these sort of things. Monty is, I would actually probably say, better at dealing with this sort of loadout that Turbo's bringing, but I'm prepared. But you know, if the loadout you brought before doesn't work, change it up. See if you can put them on, put on the pressure.
And we are into the back half of round number 1 here in game number 4. It's a best of 5. Monty leads the best of 5 2-1, and right now Turbo needs this game to stay alive, to take it to a map game number 5. And there's a good bit of dodging coming in and a good bit of blocking coming in. The Frost Nade goes wide. The Majestic Nade not quite in a space that's really going to deny much movement, but a little bit of damage connecting there for Turbo as they chip away. Monty now in the lead as 15 seconds here. A few moments left for Turbo to try and connect and get back into this round. Another assault comes in. They need to dodge this. They need to get some damage down onto Monty, but that's actually not the case as Monty connects on a big assault there in the final seconds, and Monty takes round 1. Turbo a bit upset as they were close in this round, and now their life's on the line, Cap. 1 round away from potentially losing the series.
Monty's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's got 2 shields, Turbo's got 2 grenades. They're the only thing which is really going to put that much pressure on him. The minute he sees a grenade up in the air, he'll pull out a shield and throw it at it. And then all he has to do to kind of dodge the rest of Turbo's stick is he's got to stay on the back, dodge the Viper Ellipse and the Snowball. So really, once he's got his game plan, just deal with all of the threats one by one and dodge the Viper Ellipse Snowball. Takes Snowball there, so it's not that much of a perfect game plan. But why is he going up front? Why, Monty, you honestly should be a coward here. Stay at the back. And the closer you get to Turbo, the easier it's going to be for him to land those Viper Ellipses, and that's how he wins.
Well, there was finally a good Majestic Nade coming in from Turbo there, and that really set him up for a good assault. And oh my gosh, getting their head to the ground basically to dodge some of that onslaught there. And they do manage to keep the health lead in this first minute, but it's only the first minute. There's still so much time left to dodge, and Monty takes a big hit there. A nice chip away. Ooh, a bit of a missed Viper Ellipse shot that goes the wrong way. But still, Turbo does have the lead here. There's a good Majestic Nade that floats into the front half of the zone, but to your point, Cap, it allows Monty to stick to the back part of their play space and continue to dodge. Turbo trying to set up for that Viper Ellipse, and now it's just a matter of reloads and, well, waiting for this final 30 seconds to push into this, what could be final round, unless Turbo can maintain this lead.
Yeah, I mean, Monty's just such a good dodger. That was really nice dodging all those Raptor Ellipse shots and the Viper. It makes it look easy. And, oh, that double Raptor combo just lays waste to Turbo's HP bar. Turbo needs to land grenades. He needs a Viper Ellipse shot now.
Yep, it all comes down to the nades, the Viper Ellipse. The Viper Ellipse isn't there for Turbo, though. He doesn't have it to shoot. Here it comes.
There we go. He's got 2 shots, maybe.
One connects. No, he can't get the last one. They needed that last Viper Ellipse shot to connect. It was so close from hitting there. You can, on the replay, you can watch it come floating in just over the top, just in front of Monty. Monty dodging back behind it to avoid it. Wow, Kev, what a finale there to that round. Monty takes the series 3-1. What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was a fantastic matchup, and it didn't disappoint. And both players played really, really well. I think the problem that Turbo really had at the end was he knew his win condition. His win condition, once he lost that health, was he has to do 30 damage in 1 shot. He can either try and land a short-range Hammer Nade, which got dealt with by Monty, or he can land a Viper Ellipse. The problem is that Monty also knew that win condition, and he knew all I have to do now is dodge that Viper Ellipse. So yeah,
Right.
Turb0 was able to land a few Raptor ellipse shots. Plus, because Monty knew that it doesn't actually matter if he gets tagged by a couple of them. If he's not getting hit by that ellipse bullet or that Viper bullet, he's not losing the round and he wins the whole series. And that's exactly what we saw.
We also got one of our longest VRML match this season. Coming in at around 30 or 35 minutes, a good, proper, fun series to come into and enjoy. And again, I appreciate everybody that was stopping by on Twitch and hanging out. Again, hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're going to be trying to do a lot more casts here. I don't think we have any more games set up after this, but hey, I'm perfectly happy with a nice solid 30 minutes of good quality Blaston action. And again, the VODs should be saved onto the Twitch channel, so if you want to learn, go back, analyze, do check out the VODs here on Twitch. Eventually, we'll be getting those onto a YouTube channel and get content onto there and all of that. But it's a process, so we're building to it. Any final thoughts, Cap, before we sign off?
Really, I think my final thoughts here are these two players are actually number 1 and number 2 on the in-game leaderboards. And I just want to impress everyone on how skilled these players are.
Yeah.
And I really want to impress on everyone how skilled Monty is, so that in case my game later this week with him gets streamed and he just cleans me up 6-0 on rounds, you remember that that's completely fine because he's so good. But no, fantastic game, didn't disappoint. I know that, honestly, I think that game could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate for Turb0 though, because I know he was in his worst play space, and he's a lot more lethal with a bit more space. But, you know, there's a reason both these players are top of the leaderboard right now.
Yeah. Impressive stuff. Happy to have dropped into it this afternoon. But that'll be it for us today. My name is Ben NightFiree with 2 E's, my co-caster, Captain Fabulous. We will see you all probably more this week. Maybe later tonight, who knows. But just keep your eyes peeled on the channel and on the social medias for more Blaston VRML action.